We are back on Nomad, and a different generation here. Much more narrow water than in the first game we casted here. There's still a very decent dock spot to the left here for the players. Seeking David with the Berbers. He has docked the right hand side here. Also, nice deep fish around this dock. While Drunkviper, Drunkviper goes for the dock in the middle here. I don't think that's crossable. So, YouTube is a bad man. And there's a big pond in the middle here as well with lots of deep fish. So Drunkviper won't... They probably won't be contesting each other in water for a while. Because they're simply not sharing the same waters. And they're talking about the civilization pigs. King David expecting the Spanish, so he wanted to go Berbers for the janitors, presumably. I don't know what Drunkviper expected of King David, but Khmer is good all round anyway. Those real Viper and real Dave? No. These are plebs. Teeth are up and they are quite close to each other. In fact, Drunkviper has even seen King David start building the town center over here. Cows almost kissing each other here nearby, and King David will also confirm that this is Drunkviper's location. This is going to be a nice and fine early game here. Scout versions, yes. I think for the sake of no madness and the fact that the Dark Age tends to be rather uneventful, unless we see some laming action here, I'll fast forward it a little bit and see what the Feudal Age brings us. Know something? Theses are close. I think they know. I think they know. Boars are being brought in. They're using their cows to scout those lousy slow-ass cows, but... Sure, do catch the one Drunkviper, no worries. I'm keeping a little eye on the idle tease time here, which is lower for Drunkviper, which is always a good thing. It's going to allow you to go up quicker or just have a more fluent economy overall. King David, however, going Feudal Age, well ahead of Drunkviper here, meaning that the Khmer player might be going for a fast castle drop style play here. Not too uncommon for Nomad starts. King David, one dock here, one dock down here. Did not particularly scout. Did he actually see the dock in the middle? Did he miss the dock? Seriously? That's so unfortunate. I hope he saw some fishing ships or something moving through here, but King David needs to, or doesn't have to, but should contest this middle pond. This is where Drunkviper is fishing, so maybe just pull one fishing ship and scout the naval situation for any dock of Drunkviper. If there's no dock in the middle, then if he's docked at all, he has to be in the center pond here. So Drunkviper also in the Feudal Age. Drunkviper, it's the Khmer, so he can go Castle Age, no problem, without any buildings needed. But he's going for the tower! There's almost enough food and gold here to go Castle Age, and Drunkviper still goes for the towers. So it's not a direct fast castle drop here. It's a little bit of Feudal Age aggression, but it's a good tower. He needs to wall that in as well, so that David's villagers can't rush it down easily. But King David will need to relocate and find a better woodland somewhere else. 5 fish for Drunkviper, 8 fish for King David, so King David slightly ahead in overall economy here. And they seem to be matching in villagers as well, so actually a good situation for the Berbers to be in here. And now it's walled in as well. Good work of Drunkviper as King David drops some outposts here. I've seen him do that on islands as well to prevent sneaky landings. So yeah, it's a good way to acquire some vision. Drunkviper goes for the villager hit here, but King David is Berber, so he can outrun any fights. That's the perks of being Berbers in a matchup like this. Snake Tower. Dennis, are you drunk? Talking about Tinder and powers. Well, No point for Drunkviper to try and engage against Berber villagers, they'll just run away. I love the scouting of King David here. It's a good vision overall of the map, while Drunkviper is 60% all the way to the castle age, is with 300 stomping stone here, so no immediate castle drop possible. King David with lots of food and gold here, but missing the both buildings to go to the castle age here. Wow. So lots of resources in the bank not being spent. I'll never understand why people do this. Two villagers committing to taking out an outpost, which could be collecting resources instead. Castle Age for Drunkviper could go straight for the crossbow and bodkin here. And knows the location of the TC, of course, and knowing that this protects the woodline, Drunkviper will be moving out his marchers to try and find other places to hit. King David, in the meantime, just pulling away, not rushing things at all here, just conserving the resources for an eventual castle age and just enjoying life here. Don't really see any particular aggression here as King David walling off with stone walls here. I'm going to toggle that fast forward just for a little bit because we're not really seeing anything too crazy here. Okay, it looks like King David wanted to contest this pond for a moment there, but it's just a mill on the berries for the time being. He has lots of fire galleys out, but it's on the wrong place. It's certainly going to protect this fish if Drunkviper ever commits to any naval aggression on this side, but that's not happening quite yet. The crossbows are out, so we have some aggression here from Drunkviper, getting a couple of villager kills here by the looks of it. Also denying the market. That's huge, because that's the second building King David needs to go to the castle age. Needed, at least. And how is King David going castle age here? Where is that second building? I'm confused. What am I not seeing here? There's a blacksmith. There has to be a stable or something here for King David then. To have the two buildings to go to the castle age. Anyway, Drunkviper dropping a TC. Dropping a castle, I mean, on the hill here. Good defensive castle. Will also hit the TC. So if you want to try and deny this TC from getting to the castle age, you could actually queue a couple of batards and try to get lucky against that TC. Take it out before the research is complete. Ah, here they are. That's the second building for King David. Two sneak stables down on the far side of Drunkviper's side. Nice. Bloodline is coming in. Yeah, but I'm not talking of Drunkviper here. I meant King David. The market got denied, so he was missing the second building to go up. That was what I was trying to say. University for Drunkviper, now trying to go to the... Go for the ballistics here for the crossbows. 11 crossbows currently on the field, and King David makes it to the castle age as well. And we'll be pumping out knights here for sure. Berbers, 15% cheaper knights and camels in the castle age. Not to show up on the scouts, maybe it's all of the cavalry units, but pumping out the cheaper knights here, and a decent eco set of food and gold here. Seems to be off gold though. Was mining gold over here and now has found a TC to the far side here instead, and we'll be able to secure some gold for continued knights production. Oh, some great value for Drunkviper here though. Ballistics not in. And 54 villagers to 24, that's a pretty ginormous lead for the Kver in the terms of economy at this point. This is seed 1 versus seed 32, by the way, so this is a bit of a rough one for King David. So that's useful information. Eco KD 14 to 5 for Drunkviper. Starting TC is down to Castle Fire for King David, but he's in true Nomad style. He's relocated to other parts of the map. TC on stone here to secure some stone. Could get the castle up and get some Camelots out if need be. And the knights are doing some work as well. Plus 2 defenses in, so if you get like 15-20 knights, you could dive TCs and take them out. O'Connor just keeps those AoE analogies coming, huh? 19 crossbows and counting for Drunkviper here. Oh, King David snipes the fishing ship, the knights here. Eco value. Should definitely take out the dock. Don't care about the fishing ships. Drop the dock and force Drunkviper to drop a new dock to get that fish food in. What? Her magnet micro. Are you saying she dodged Ogedevon? Maybe she did. Or is Ogedevon dodging her, hopefully? Ay, ay, ay. I can respect how you're keeping the chat AoE related, even if it's Tinder Talk, Alcodor and Dennis and Gabrielko. So, overall population is of concern here. King David at half population of Drunkviper here, with more military and more villagers for Drunkviper. You could argue that the knights are stronger than the crossbows though, in mass. So there's still potential here, and Drunkviper fails to recognize that King David has relocated to the far left side here with the TCs. Crossbows, not the most mobile play ever either. A peculiar choice for the Khmer. They don't have Thumbring, but otherwise full upgrades for the archer line. And now a defensive castle on the woodland and home TC here. So the castle goes up, limits and he raids on the main TC at least. King David losing knights to towns at the fire here as Drunkviper doesn't want to get housed, just drops a couple of house foundations there to make sure the house situation isn't a thing. And then we see here King David realizing eventually that Drunkviper is fishing in the middle. Did see the dock, of course, and hoping to pass through here, but that's blocked. So fire galleys can not enter this area. Drunkviper really needs to work on the scouting though. Needs to get some outposts up on this side, get some idea of where is King David. He has to be over here. I mean, it's a massive lead, not in score, interestingly enough. But Drunkviper with the massive military numbers and twice the economy of King David here. So, let's see, he could pass through here. Maybe that's the plan now. He's going to try and find King David's new location. Always dangerous to move crossbow masses close to the shoreline. You never know if King David has some demolition ships lurking about here. He'll snipe the fire galleys as well, I think. Should, at least. Down they go. A little bit of crossbow flexing there, and now to realize that King David has a defensive castle, at least if he moves close enough. Could loop around and find TC here, but generally speaking, King David's newly found economy to the left hand side here isn't too bad. It's quite well protected at this point. There we go, getting some more kills in here for Drunkviper. 22, 19. So somehow King David has more eco kills actually, maybe because he took out all the fish here. But the overall eco situation is still well ahead of Drunkviper because of the lower idle tease time and the more town centers of Drunkviper as well. Yeah, then it. You need to mind your language or your metaphors. The Drunkviper cleans up the sneak stables here. That eliminates any raids, new raids coming from this corner. And we do have 42 crossbows total, so Drunkviper in a great spot here. Could even go Imperial HA, going light cav, which should allow for more scouting on the top side here, or just more efficient raids together with the crossbows. King David committing to stone walls now. I'm not sure if that's going to keep crossbows out though, if they decide to move further in. They know the TC is here, so they don't want to get too close, but now sandwich up in the corner here for King David is essentially giving away 95% of the map to Drunkviper here, and Drunk or not, Mr. Viper in the Viper color here, Drunkviper seems to have this game in the pocket. Thanks for the follow, Mike Scarn 88. So now a monster for King David, maybe worried about the gold income here when gold runs out, wants to collect some relics. Skirmishers, that's a proper call, of course. Could even consider Janitors here for more mobility in the skirm department. Drunkviper with a 1 villager forward castle here. Will he quick wall in this one? Oh, get some walls. Come on, quick wall. Live a little. They're just baffled by this strong woman building one castle with her own bare hands over here. No, oops, no, we don't want that. Reinforcements have arrived. And here they go with, yeah, that's gonna... Ooh, Cameloters are out actually, so this castle, it's a bit too ballsy from Drunkviper here. Imperial Age is about to kick in though. Murder holes coming in as well, so the and the units can't just chill underneath it, but the villagers, I think they go down. Nothing to stop Drunkviper from sending more villagers forward and getting this castle completed though, because it still has massive army dominance here. We gotta kill that mining camp. Don't want King David to sneak minestones and golds over here. See some red dots, but that's just stray buildings from King David from the former home base here. He is establishing a little bit of army again here with the skirmishers and cameloters here, but not nearly enough. Got a decent fish boom, 7 fish working, and there's still deep fish to be eaten here. They're both floating quite a bit of resources, but as Drunkviper completes the forward castle, that will mean trebuchets. This Burris castle will be dealt with, and Drunkviper very likely will come out victorious of this first game. Arbalest is in particular, so the only thing obviously missing will be Thumbring. They don't get that, but Bracer and Chemistry, the crucial upgrades kicking in here. And yeah, last armor you could consider as well, but that's nothing you need to stress with these long-range units. It wasn't as close as I'd hoped, says King David. He told me that they are... not that far apart elo-wise. Yeah, like 1,000 elo between them, so nothing too crazy. And Drunkviper just laughs at the comment, and is enjoying himself here now, I think. Another castle goes up, and King David is hanging in there. He's at 44 villagers to 106. He's matching the military numbers, so that's something. He has Elite Skirm in against the Arbalists. And we'll try to snipe the tribe with 2 camel archers. Good luck with that. That's not gonna fly, I'm afraid. With this defensive castle element, I think King David will have to concede here. He won't have any defenses left. He'll have the skirmishers, but that's about it. Look at these Arbalists, they don't even care. They're pounding away or shooting away at the siege workshop over here. And tweaking the resources a little bit here. Drunkviper at 166 population. Want some more vision, even getting town patrol here. And now there's the troops here, even going into ballista elephants here with the extra resources at hand here. Palm patrol, yes, exactly. 3 tribes moving out. That's going to be the end of one of the newly found TCs of King David as well. A castle going up to the left-hand side here to deny that TC. That actually gets denied by King David, so that's something. Ballista elephants in front of the arms now against the skirmishers that are lacking the Imperial Age upgrades, and massive fight here between the units. Massive ballista elephants. They're, even for the skirmishers, they're so tough to kill. They have such high hit points, and they're basically walking scorpions. They have a scorpion mounted on their backs here, so should work well against both camel archers and scorpions. Well, I think that sums it up. King David. Well played, bad luck next. Is this, did I pick the wrong game now? Was this actually the third game? Anyway. Order or not, let's give Drunkviper the first one. They may or may not have been named in the wrong order, or I just picked the wrong one. Second game, yeah, hopefully. Bad luck next game. Could be. So let's look at the timeline here. Drunkviper seemed in good control. Massive economy difference here. Slightly earlier feudal age for King David. Did make 4 fire galleys that didn't pay off at all, sadly. So that's shows the importance of scouting on water and finding the APM chart. That's the crossbow micro going up and down here for Drunkviper, so that's nothing too peculiar about that. Let's find the game number 2. Koreans, Persians on Compass. Let's start with the transport ship. Load game 2 says Drunkviper. Hey, no spoilers, man. No spoilers. King David picks the Persians for Compass here. Good call. You could drop the dock right away. You'll need a house as well because you'll already be pop capped. Can't really pump out efficient ship. But once King David gets a house up, he might need 2 houses actually. But once the TC and the house is up, King David can pump out another fishing ship and get started here. Drunkviper, however, does not dock the starting island. Is now scouting with the starting transport ship and is looking for a TC location on the south bit of the compass here. It's called compass, it's north, south, west, east, right? And different resources in the different places here. Berries, llamas, the elephants, and ostrich over here. And you just need to choose where to settle, and usually they'll end up at different places. Whoa, Dave, welcome! The host of the main event to the Wandering Warriors Cup to go to T90. Much appreciate the raid. This is Group H of Wandering Squires. I'm casting a couple of games from that group today. And this is actually Seed 1 versus Seed 32, so we're currently in the second game here. Could, of course, be in for a surprise here, you never know. But yeah, we're just about to start this compass game. Transport ship start, 3 builders in the middle here. For either of the players, you'll see King David, he actually went for the dock. And Drunkviper even picks yellow, yeah. He certainly follows the theme of the nickname here. And Koreans for Drunkviper. Docking way later, but might not make that much of a difference, but it is 3 eco units lead for King David with the earlier TC and dock here. So let's have a little look at scouting and everything here. Decent, if we can call it that, woodline for King David, but more importantly got the TC up nice and early. And got the head start to the fish as well. I don't even know what Drunkviper is doing with the... It's really committing to the scouting here with the fish, but that's probably because he didn't get the dock up until later. So he wants to get a grasp of things. Found a couple of cows to scout the sides here, and he's probably realizing that King David has settled over to the left here. So you'd never be completely safe on your compass. There's these crossings, so you can wall them off like King David does, but you are starting with a transport ship. So the walls aren't really going to keep the resources out. He's Drunkviper just Örjan drinking the pain of streaming on Facebook away. I don't think so. Judging from the playstyle, he'd have to be really drunk in that case. Compared to Viper's pro top level, I mean, it's no disgrace to the playing level of these players. They are around 1k elo, both of them, but not nearly the Viper level, of course. And more importantly, haven't seen any masterpieces yet. Also not housed. Yeah, that's a giveaway, isn't it? You know what? I think I'll take the liberty of a little fast forward here, but again, it's the no-bed start thing. It takes a little while to get started here. The eco lead is massive for King David. Massive! Less idle TC. More fish. Just really getting started out well here. King David should be light years ahead to both fuel and cast ages if this keeps up, and he's very well set to fight for the water as well. He knows the location of Drunkviper's dock already. He's even stealing the fish over here. And yeah, just general fluent collection here. Fuel age on the way. Drunkviper has the 2 buildings for the next age, but has been lacking the food. We'll click just there, so 27, 28 pop to 32 here. Is King David on gold? He's going to gold just now. And Persian docks, they also work 10% faster, and DCs 10% faster in the feudal age. So it's... You'll get those naval army units out sooner. Firegal is queued in both of the docks here. As Drunkviper drops the second dock, but it's well behind to the next stage here. It's going to be a massive challenge for the Koreans to keep up with the Persians' navy and land boom here. Thanks for the follows to Dumble, Bori, and Kosa Kwasa as well. Much appreciated. So I myself, I played this map once, I think, and I don't remember if I think it was a Diplo game, and we lost to a Wonder victory. It might even have been a 2v2 or something, but Wonder won the game, just a Wonder in the corner. Kind of a boring but efficient way to win if you can defend it. What's the elo? King David is 950, Drunkviper is 1060, so mid 900s, mid 1000s. Could also type exclamation mark rank and the player's nickname in chat to see. Ah, you're in that game, Ogedai won, that's right. King David contesting the fish now is going to make sure that Drunkviper can not get that free food going here. Drunkviper kind of keeping up as well, though. Is the Fire Galley's numbers increasing here? But yeah, King David needs to keep making army here. I think he still has a decent numbers advantage here. He's queuing out of one dock, and he has the faster working docks, so he'll catch up more nicely. Nice save of that 5 HP Fire Galley as well. Yeah, it was good micro. And he's pulling it in for repairs. Nice. That's going to conserve some resources and keeping it going. I hope I never have to play this map, says Neil Defense. Yeah. I can't think of worse maps in the pool. Like the one with the not Golden Hill, but the one with or Golden Island or whatever, but the one with gold, all the gold in the middle. I played that in a team game the other day and was horrible. So I'd skip that one. Yeah, this could be a naval play like. I don't think about Gold Rush physically. I'm thinking about the map pack of the Wandering Warriors. This could be naval play at a higher level as well, and as been pointed out by chat, the idle TC is what kind of gives away the level. Looks like the King David is winning water here. He needs to get to that castle age, so he's floating lots of food and wood now. Could drop the market as the second building, I think, and just go up here. And then he could tweak the cells of wood and just get there. And then he'll get fire ships if he wants to. He could get more galleys to control any shoreline here. And just deny Drunkviper and the entrance to the other compasses bits here. Many low-elo players doing better on mobile style maps than regular apps. Yeah, because it's more of adapting and no set. Not as easy to just pull off your go-to build order and perfect it, I guess. There's definitely build orders for Nomad as well, but not to the same extent as on Arabia or other places. Yeah, people probably prepare for tournaments as well, since it's an actual tournament, yeah. He's Drunkviper with the barracks. Does he want to go archers again here? Could be. Or war wagons, maybe. I see 3 on stone here. That could be a bit of a pickle. We do have Drunkviper well ahead to the gas stage. I didn't catch that gas stage transition, but it's actually 1.5 minutes ahead of King David, but at a severe population disadvantage. No build tree, no builders. A massive death ball of war wagons is probably the only thing that can get King David back into it here. Loading 1k wood is suspect. Not if he had had the stone to drop 3 more TCs instantly in the Castle Age. But that's sadly not the case. I think he actually sold stone to go to Castle Age here, which is a bit weird. Or maybe it's outposts. Stone walls and outposts. Okay, never mind. He didn't sell stone, he spent it on walls and outposts. So now it's developing more into the low elo approach to the games here. Outposts and towers and walls in an almost fortress manner here. But the Castle Age is in. Seems like King David is going into the cavalry here. He could definitely, now that he controls the water, he could definitely go for a transport ship, Master P, excuse me, here, and send in the knights through a transport. This is Black Forest with rivers right now. Yeah, looking at the walls, it is. And there's no one over here. Still eating the fish, and the deep fish is diminishing at a rapid rate here for King David. Could definitely, with that kind of wood, could seed fish traps though. That's another use for the wood, of course. Oh, the outposts are amazing for Nomad maps for vision and overview. But maybe not at this early stage of the game. Gives good vision though. Crossbows it is for Drunkviper. But definitely castling on the go up as well. You would sometimes see players drop a castle near the shoreline and then drop docks so they can go back and win water, but I don't think that's worth it for Drunkviper at this point. Not 3 outposts on the stage spot. Yeah, exactly. They are basically providing the same view here. If you have town watching. Actually, I just stole the pro strat. I combined walling and wind and water. Yeah, seems to work out. So Paradox says the players have been practicing a lot. That's good. That should provide some good matches moving on then. Yeah, you've stepped up your game for sure, King David, and Drunkviper seems at a loss as to what to do. That's kind of interesting. He's making some naval units, but yeah, there's no way back for Drunkviper on water here. I think he needs to try and claim land somehow. And he wants to deprive King David of the vision here. Gonna take aim for the outposts. It's not gonna be easy to break through with crossbows here. And imagine a demolition ship here. King David, get that demo out. Get that demo out now. Bam! You'd even have yeah. Even have demolition ship with a war galley upgrade would be amazing. This is so dangerous on these maps. Never stick around for too long with land units on this kind of terrain. We need a demo. Or war galleys. They're gonna do fine as well. They're gonna do just fine. They have much more hit points than the crossbows. Better plans for the archers. They're gonna be slain by the war galleys. Is that it? Or is it the mighty Persian knights maybe? More outposts. Good vision on the right side compass. King David is soon about to find out that there's no Drunkviper on this part of the compass either. Oh, hold on. Drunkviper is trying to escape, taking advantage of the fact that the naval armies are a bit out of position here. King David, however, has presence here as well. He's dropping another dock, really emphasizing the naval control of this map, which seems to be a good play. Plan has to do with a villager in the east in the future, and that's the only hint I give. Fair enough. She's over here. Guess we'll see. Yeah. It's fine. It's a good dock. Well, it's not exactly a hidden relocation from Drunkviper here, because King David has the vision from the outpost. He still has the naval control. Oh, here are the crossbows again, so no stone walling this area for King David just yet. Finding the castle going up for Drunkviper here. That could mean some war wagons in the making eventually. And the crossbows have migrated to try and work all their way around, I guess. We don't want King David to see what's going on here. No peeking. Alright, that's cool. Mr. David, glad you're stopping by. King David is a Norwegian player. He's also in the AOE Norway Discord, so we already know each other. Exactly. Norwegian caster for Norwegian player. Was all in the planning all along. No, not really. I said I'd take whatever bracket. So that's wasn't of importance to me. Ooh, crossbows going down to war galleys up here. We even have careening in here, the PS armor for the ships, so good. Upgrade to pick up for King David here as well. 4th TC is going up. He's still at lower idle TC time than Drunkviper with the 3, so that should give King David a massive equal lead here. While the armies are comparable in size, the castle is just a defensive measure for now, no war wagons or anything. And that's... where is it? You all been coached by Viper plus MBL? Not really, but Viper at least is in the AOE Norway Discord. He's not active there, but he is in it. And we do have about 300 people in the AOE Norway Discord, and we have standard team game day on Wednesday evenings, so we have a bit of a living community. But for the AOE Olympics, we were quite a few players for the Norwegian team, and the prize pool from the AOE Olympics, Viper kindly enough donated his share to the AOE Norway community, so we could run a Norwegian community tournament or more for that money. So that's already been put into motion. We've had one, we might have more. So it's very, very nice. Of course, we were all contributing to the AOE Olympics event, but it was really the pros doing the work, winning the money. So very nice of Viper to do that. Well, Drunkviper is doing good work at keeping crossbows alive. He's also making the war wagons now, maybe hoping to break through here in the Imperial Age. King David going Imperial Age, speaking of Imp. And he is placing a TC foundation up north here. That's probably a villager walking from far away, maybe these guys or something. Full naval control still for King David, of course. He, at this point, is almost too much. Might need the pop space for other thing. Yeah, there's no way Drunkviper gets to the core economy of King David. Even in the Imperial Age, it's going to be rough with this kind of naval control, because you need to push through here with siege or with trebuchets or whatnot. I guess in theory you could break the walls with a treb, but it's not going to be easy. Yeah, you never know for certain at this either, that's for sure. And this is seed 32 against seed 1, I'll just restate that. So it's an accomplishment on its own if King David takes a win here, takes the game here. There's the Imperial Age for King David. He's even getting Galleon. He really, really wants that going here. Cavalier is coming in as well. Does he still have some presence here? Does he still have some villager or something? Well, he has stables up here in the east. So he is going to get those cavaliers out. Persian cavalry, Persian cavaliers, or Persian knights line. Knights, cavalier, paladin. They have +2 bonus attack against archers. You need to add in the player's nickname as well, if you want to check the player's nickname. Exclamation mark rank, space, nickname. So, triple stables. Lots and lots of resources in the bank for King David here. In fact, he could go straight for the paladin. Maybe he's going to kill this one out of his time. Oh, sneaky transport! And the knights are out, but the war wagons here are to stop this one, and Drunkviper just pulls the 11. Yeah, you know what? That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. GG well played is called by Drunkviper. The Cavalier don't get to dominate here. Wow, I won, says King David. He gets one game of Drunkviper. And a bit of an abrupt GG there, but also very much understandable. Drunkviper, they're both floating resources. There could have been a way back maybe for Drunkviper, but how do you defeat the massive navy with galleons for the Persians here? You need maybe to invest, drop a castle for Koreans here. Get your own docks up around the castle, like 5 or 6 docks. Pump out some turtle ships and galleons in combo and try and win back water and then start contesting land. But that's a long game plan, and you need the massive economy for that kind of switch as well. And turtle ships are pretty darn slow as well, but they are efficient against some other naval units. Just browsing through the stats here, and we'll have the decider game. Alright. Going in for the third one of the best of 3 here. Lithuanians versus Indians on Mired. That would be Drunkviper's home map. So expect some next level tryharding from Drunkviper for the home map here to end it. We'll see. The map is Mired. If it gets started here. And they all, excuse me, they all start in the middle. Difference being you start with the horse. So you're actually able to scout. There's lots of wars in the middle, so you could... I guess you can't drop the TC on these shallows. You need to go to a woodline. But you don't want to drop the TC too far either, because you really want to try and benefit from these boars. Could use your horse to block in between the villager to pull the boar all the way back. But yeah, here comes the TC on the woodline for King David. Down here. And Drunkviper to the left, top left here with the Indians. Cheaper villagers, 5, 10, 15 and 20% cheaper. There is shorefish. There are shorefish on Wired, but not a whole lot of box turtles here. There's only 4 patches. So I'm not too... Wait, there's more? Maybe. Nope. I don't think you pick Indians for the... 4 patches of box turtle of 200 food. I don't think so. But Indians against Lithuanians. You do have the camel line for the Indians, right? So you counter Lithuanians cavalry play in that regard. And if you really, really want to show off, you can go the elephant archers, and I don't see the Lithuanians having any good answer to that, except for maybe the monks, mass monks, with block printing and all that jazz. But they settle on either side here. They're probably both going to snag some boars from the middle and get their game started here. Otherwise, it's pretty much a land map, except for... I'd assume you could dock the middle here and claim some control that way for some middle control, but there's not really any resources to control here, so I don't think that's going to be too much of an emphasis. The difference being, of course, that you can't build on this terrain. Oh, that's going to be a long lure. Are you going for a marathon lure with a 25 HP villager? No, Loom is going in. Loom is not going to help if you let the villager get eaten by the boar. Let's see. I think he makes it. I think that's fine using the TC trick. Now don't shoot the boar with too many TC arrows here. Oh! Been there, done that, and that's a massive drain on the food for King David. His last arrow garrisons the weak villager. That's a classic. It happens to all of us when we try the TC trick. Sometimes it is bound to happen. You garrison the weak villager, and then TC gets the last hit in on the boar. It's just... Ooh, it's... so unfortunate, but at least there's more than 2 boars for each player on this map, so King David's gonna be just fine. He has that Lithuanian's extra 150 food to start, so his TC is still not going significantly idle here. And he has sheep to eat. This is why I'm glad I'm too noob to try the TC trick. Hey, high risk, high reward, Huggy. You end up having 2 seconds less idle eco time by doing it, or something. Maybe a little bit more. So that's why it's worth it. And you could get a better boar placement. But yeah, there's always a chance that it fails. Feels like the boars are closer for Drunkviper overall here, even though their TCs are roughly to the same distance. It's actually further away for Drunkviper, but seems to be placing the TC at a spot where he can still lure in a couple more boars and get a good start here. I think I'm going to skip forward a little bit to the feudal age again here. Now going for the hunt here for Drunkviper. Neither player going up here. The King David slightly higher idle TC time, which means the... where the hell are you? Yeah. I must have found it, surely. Could be mind games. Feudal age for the Indians. King David not up just yet, but now seeding some farms to boost that food income, and the barracks is going up. Lots of wood in the bank, which is a bit of a setback here, and at the same moment King David starts the feudal age research. Drunkviper is already up, and looks like the yellow player might as well just go straight past castle here. The resources certainly allow it. No, well, the barracks is up, so once the wood allows, we might see a stable as well. Yeah, so this is incredible that his horse hasn't succeeded in finding the... He's in the middle though, so you must have some suspicions that this is the area. But this is crazy. I think Drunkviper has sacrificed the horse to enemy TC, so definitely Drunkviper knows the location of King David's side. Are we going to see any scout here from the Indians? Could also be blacksmith stable past castle here. 6 of gold now. There's the stable, so definitely want to see some scouts. If I'm Drunkviper here, I wouldn't want to overcommit though. Because there's such a lead to the feudal age already. Would be an ginormous advantage getting to the castle age well ahead of King David, who just now got up. Of course, we are spectating from a neutral point of view here. Did he take the... Oh, he took the shorefish! He milled the shorefish! Ah, Neil the Fest with the game reading abilities here. Nice. Wait, how did it dodge that spear? He was pointing right at it. Drunkviper, both buildings in place to go Castle Age, and there you go. Right? Right? Please go up. Ah, there we go. 27 builders, Castle Age 4 scouts out and about and still alive. No eco kills whatsoever for either player here, but King David is lagging behind in the progression here. Is not on gold yet, is floating quite a bit of wood, so could transition some of that wood income into farms to facilitate the Castle Age transition. If Drunkviper wins, is this Viper's Murphy can't compare? Nah, he's seed 1, so I don't think so. I don't think so. Actually pretty smooth app for this elo, yeah. 21 minutes after 4 scouts, but this map has food in abundance, so it's a lot easier to get up anyway, and he did even take the shorefish. Did take the shorefish for even faster food. And there we go. No more outposts for you, King David, not on this side, not with that woman. That's the first villager kill of the game for Drunkviper, who is now only 50 seconds away from the castle age. Yep, the idle time is on the higher side here. EcoKD 3-0, it's 4 for King David because it did lose 1 villager to the war as well. Presumably, that some kind of guy unit killed that, and scouts now being committed to taking out the outpost. We don't want King David to have free vision here. And I guess at this point, I could scout the sides here with the scouts actually. And try to find the exposed resources that King David is taking. Is snuck 2 builders up here. He's also using his own scouts to at the very least deny a TC here of the India's player. And now in the meantime a monastery for Drunkviper. Not wanting King David to get the relics in the castle age. He's not up yet, but snagging the relics before Lithuanians can get to them, that is generally a good idea. Because each relic gives the Lithuanians knights and lights +1 attack up until 4 relics worth. Would never think to look up in the north or to the right hand side, that's for sure. So it's an ingenious play to hide a couple of wood builders up here. That could be used for sneak stables or whatever later on. And the gold as well. There's a close gold, but King David is playing the mind games and taking the further away gold so that Drunkviper will think, yeah, this guy's never going up, he's not even gold yet. And I was talking about the camels here earlier, but Cav Archers is also a good choice against cavalry, knights, civilizations. And Indians, they have fully upgraded cavalry archers, so that is a very good strategical call here. Monk is out. It's just going to mind his own business and collect the relic here. I think this might be out of horse at work, and King David is at least still with very good scouting intel now. Finally, of course, found Drunkviper over here. Defending with spears. Cavalry archer numbers increasing. That's going to be very annoying with the cav archers. You could spread out and you can't quick wall them out because they have the range. There's the cast age for King David though, and it should be the Knight's follow-up. And maybe a monastery to start collecting relics for our blue playing friend as well. And here the stray builders are being put to good use. There's one on stone here for King David and one DC on the gold and woodland over here. So he's really grabbing the map here and counting on Drunkviper not to use the mobility of the cav archers or scouts here to find this expansion. But the cav archers are out, not much the spears can do about that, only fletching in for Drunkviper, so that is of concern in terms of sniping villagers and general output, damage output. But then again, he doesn't really see the expansion of King David. Can by no means expect that there are 2 TCs far out in the wild here for the opponent. And that could definitely be a way for King David to catch up in builders because he's at 3 TCs ahead of Drunkviper here. Both players queuing builders, but King David may be a bit low on the food for now to catch up with that. He's sending builders now. That could be a reveal if the cav archers start chasing this. No bodkin, but bloodlines, hey. Well, we don't want to lose the cav archers to spearmen and other stuff. Might as well get bloodlines before the attack upgrades. Why not? Second relic on the way for Drunkviper. You can see the relic count down here. And now with 11 cav archers and counting as well. So the yellow gap is beginning to show again between these 2 players. Didn't scout this relic, but that's a lot closer to home than the others. So that's obviously going to be brought in as well. So left with only 2 relics left for King David to potentially take. But I don't think he even has a monastery yet. He's going into range, a proper call to deal with the cav archers. We're going to see the Lithuanian skirmishers here, and they move faster than generic skirmishers as well. So that's a good defensive approach by King David here. This will be lacking the mobility sadly, as compared to the cavalry archers still. Well, Vulcan is in, handcart is coming for the Indians as well. And King David yet again extends the vision with outposts here. I'm assuming Town Watch is in, getting that fairly early, right after the Castle Age there. Provides some extra vision for buildings and outposts. Looks like Yellow has it in as well. But the cav archers doing good work at idling economy here. Another wave will be hitting the starting base of King David here as well. And that villager situation is escalating for Drunkviper. Now at 4 TCs, cheaper villagers for the Indians makes it a lot easier to produce them as well. Keep booming behind whatever aggression and army units you make. And as you can see, the stone count allowing for the very first castle of Drunkviper as well. Now, lots of army to defend a potential castle drop. And here comes Drunkviper to find more villagers to snipe, and also the other town center out in the wild for King David here. No ballistics yet for Drunkviper. Is the university is up. The resources are at their disposition to get ballistics researched here. Yeah, look at the resource situation here. Thundering coming in, that's also important for the Cavarcher firing rate. Now it could be in the end of the horse over here. It's definitely done his share of scouting though, so that's not a big deal for King David to lose that one. Top side, Cavarcher raiding southeast side. The Cavarchers are on the move as well. And Drunkviper is just really enjoying the situation now. Going Imperial Age. Should probably be able to get to heavy Cavarcher pretty nice and smooth once the Imperial Age sets in, and King David, sadly, far away from any Imperial Age transition. Missing both buildings and definitely lacking in the resource department here, being constantly idled by the Cavarcher's raids, and now even a forward castle on one of the town centers of King David. Going to claim this stone, take out this town center, and allow Drunkviper to drop another castle maybe on this expansion and claim yet even more of the map. You feel like a god in Drunkviper's situation. Yeah. Cav Archers, that's the most annoying unit in the game to play against, I think. They'll keep raiding you, and in King David's defense, he's doing the right thing here. He's gone into skirmisher defense, and he has town centers to protect the economy as well, so you can always garrison and try to keep the economy safe. So it's the right approach, but the economy situation is way too far ahead for Drunkviper. There's another relic. That's the second to last relic left for this map. So if Drunkviper collects the fifth and last one here as well, then it's just no relics bonus available for the Lithuanians. The speedy skirmishers might be able to catch up with some of the Cav Archers though. So Drunkviper needs to, yeah, it's going into husbandry. That's going to benefit the Cav Archer speed as well. And you can see the camels coming in. I'd rather see light cam at this point than hussar against the skirmishers, I think. So that's Imperial Age. 30 or so villagers lead now for Drunkviper. And topside, the TC is denied over here. Lots of yellow on the map now. The Drunkviper is seed 1 for a reason, really putting up a show here on the home map with the cavalry archers and just going for the camels. I think it's going to get to Imperial Camel this game, possibly, actually, because of all the resource control around this map. Does not challenge this economy for the time being, but still going to take a lot of booming for King David to catch up here. Could potentially drop another TC on the back woodland here in the corner or something, just to bring in even more resources and try to find a way back, but with a fully moved Indians with increasing numbers of cavalry archers and camels, that's easier said than done. Indians camels have bonus attack against buildings as well, so you're not as dependent upon siege if you're in the position Drunkviper is currently in. Yeah, no relics whatsoever for the Lithuanians. No cavalry, in fact. Yeah, more Cav Archer raids coming in. Would be cool to see heavy Cav Archer as well. Bracer, arguably more important here. We need chemistry. We'll need chemistry. That's I don't think that's in yet. Believe Indians get bomber cannons. So and chemistry unlocks hand cannoneers as well, for that matter. So yeah, that's one that yeah. Speaking of, there it is on the way for Drunkviper, and it's been GG for a while indeed. That is a good presumption to make, but maybe the players are just enjoying themselves in the situation here and will keep on fighting. It's a decided game as well, so you'll usually see players playing on for the decided game to the very last moment. But look at the Indians, heavy. They're not even Imperial camels yet, and still 16 of them just shred buildings at a fairly decent pace here. They're even lacking 2 attack upgrades. Yeah, second time I mentioned an upgrade and it was clicked immediately after. That's almost a bit spooky. Heavy Cav Archer coming in, Siege Engineers as well, so Drunkviper planning to add some Siege here. That's going to benefit Trebuchets as well, by the way, so good Treb push from this side. There is a defensive castle that Drunkviper strictly doesn't know about, but stream sniping confirmed indeed. It's gonna find out soon enough, and there are probably going to be added some siege at some point. Why would you get Siege Engineers if not? Oh, well, look at these 3 pikemen chasing away the heavy camels. We don't want to fight those. Superstar Psychic, indeed. Rip Spearman. Show us the Imperial Camel. It's extremely expensive though. It's like 1200 food, 600 gold or something, or 800 gold. So maybe not worth it for a 1v1, but lots of resources in the bank for Drunkviper. Enough for another castle. Getting somewhat close to pop cap here. Not an incredible army production, but more than enough to dominate King David here. Still did not scout this PC. Well, it's Super GG. And a fair point it is. GG well played. It was when the Cav Archers roll up. Yeah, it's so annoying to deal with Cav Archers. And little chat between players. He was expecting Spanish again. And India was kind of a counter pick to Lithuanians. Oh, nice chat. If you don't let him mass camels. And now Imperial Camels is in. Oh, are they going to eat the castle? Ooh, Lightis. Lightis versus Imperial Camel. 4 Lightis versus 37 Imperial Camel. Go! 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 Kill! Nah. Look north. Where north? Here north? Oh, reboom. This is the 51-minute Imperial douche. Nope. Will fight. Boxing fight. Go. He's talking to stall the game so he can get resources for Imp and Imp. No, Imp TC is down. Imp TC is down. Oh. Yeah. It's good to have a good chat. Not Imping, Indian Imp Camel. Are we going to get to defeat here? Tower! It's the Imperial Lithuanians' infamous Imperial Tower Rush here, and now he's flexing here. If he wasn't flexing before Drunkviper with his 10,000 resources, he's making an Elephant Archer to finish off the last few builders. He already has all the appropriate upgrades here. In fact, they are fully upgraded Elephant Archers, except for the Elite. And And yeah, that takes a while. That takes a while. Elephant archers! Well, King David is at 3 pop. He has 3 builders. And they are all up here, I think. So once the tower is down, the villager goes down. That is the last villager. And the only draft I wasn't afraid of. You should be afraid of elephant archers. Definitely should be afraid of the elephant archers. Is that actually defeated? I can't tell. Anyway, good set. Going to 3 games here. Not bad at all. And we got the Imperial Camels, Heavy Cav Archers, and even Elephant Archers, though not elite. Only houses left for King David. He goes out with or without dignity here, I'm not too sure. But they seem to have a good chat about it. And Drunkviper moves on to the next round, to the round of 16. Oh, that's kind of cool. Exploration stats. Stone collected. Almost looks like Elephant Archers were to play all the time. Imagine how good he is when he's sober. True. Look at the timeline here. Thumbring. Heavy Camel. Imperial Camel! And then Hoardings in the end. And Murder Holes. He even got Sultans to bring in the gold faster from the relics and from all gold sources. Fantastic. Yeah, I love the new capture age as well. There's some amazing toggles here to show all of the stats or just select ones. You can see, for example, only the military text, which is very useful. You can see if they got ballistics at all, or you can check it live in game, right, as we follow the game. Thanks for stopping by, Drunkviper. I'll try to cover what I can, but I'm definitely committing to semis and finals, and I'll cast the game here and there otherwise.